Hello everyone! Welcome to my new Planet Zoo speed build series. This one, safari themed. So you might be wondering, what happened to Moo Zoo? And it's still there. I've just gotten a lot better in building it and stuff in my brick, so I don't like it anymore. So we're doing a new one. This zoo also contains mods, such in this episode, which is the Impala. Which I'm trying to think of the species. All I can think of is tamed Impala. So yes, a lot of these animals in this series will be modded, specifically from the what is it? I think it's called the Safari pack. All of these mods can be found on Nexus Mods. I'll see if I can find the creator of the mod and put that in the description just so you can see it. I believe this one was made by Leaf. I hope. Hopefully it was. Yeah, it's great. I've just been obsessed with modding because I can put all these animals that aren't in the game. And yeah. So, starting off with everything, I did a little bit of landscaping. I was thinking like a hill with maybe like a little oasis so they could climb up. It'd be super cute. With the fence, I have no idea what I was doing. I was trying to make something. Oh, big yawn. Trying to make something cool. I think it did, because a lot of safari animals, they have a lot of what's the word? Flat space. This was not flat. This was very much hilled, and I thought, it'd be cool. The guests can look over, see the little impalas on top of the hill. It'd be neat. It'd be cool. Putting a fence there. Not fence. The path there. And here I go putting in glass to make it look cool. And the fence does not stay wooden for very long at all. But I was thinking of African themed. You think a lot of this is gonna sound bad, but what's the word? Rustic, right? That's the word, rustic. Which I started with. I don't think I ended up liking it. I believe I ended up changing it. Here I am looking through all of the objects because I haven't built too much in buildings and stuff, but I know I have definitely improved to the point that I am willing to do it more. I'm very proud with how the enclosure fence line came out by itself. I think that was really good. I'm proud. You gotta have pride in your work. Even this, it's a design. That's probably where I will use it for something. But I found a pillar that sounds so great. That it just looked nice, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna redo the entire thing. Because I was trying to think maybe I can get thicker wooden planks. That are painted, that might look better. One thing I do hate about this fence, I can't try and think of the word, the actual fence itself, is how you can't recolor it and make it look new. It looks old by default, and I wish there was just this wooden fence that looked normal. Not old, not rusted. It's a nice texture, but it's just, yeah. Because yeah, I find these really nice pillars. They look so nice. I believe they're from the North African pack. And then I go, wow, I can put the tiles across. It looks so nice. We like that. And I'm trying to figure out, because it really clashes against the wood. And I'm like, well, change it to concrete. And we'll paint the concrete blue. Oh, maybe I didn't. I do end up painting the concrete blue. I'm trying not to edit as hard as possible because it's been a real issue, and every time I edit, there's a loop of. I'm trying to figure that out. But these videos need to go out. So yeah, now that I've done that, I still keep the wooden net. That doesn't stay for long. I'm just trying to make something nicer. There's a lot of saving, which you'll see because I am working with mods. It will crash. In fact, it does. Once. I'm very lucky. I do like the blue letters. I want to use it for something else. Not sure. This is when I delete. I believe I'm deleting the word. I realize, you know, it really clashes with now the concrete. I'm sure I can find some nice, like, mud wall or something that can match the blue. I was thinking that would, but I'm like, nah. And I was like, yeah, that looks good. I like that one. I don't know why I'm yawning all of a sudden. I was like, fine, you press record. And then bam, my yawn's like, you're tired now. Alrighty. I think, like, this looks so much better. And it just, like, it matches in color. It's visually pleasing. I'm really proud of this enclosure. And we can go, and then I put little tiles down the bottom just to give it that extra something. And I think those look really nice. If I had the time and could stand the tediness of it, I might use those tiles for like a floor and something. Because what I'm doing in between videos that you won't see until maybe like the final video, because I am determined to finish Zoo for once. I'm doing like buildings and stuff, which you can kind of see over there with the beginning of the zoo. So I'm doing stuff like that in the meantime, and then I'll record an episode with the animal enclosure because I feel like they're a lot nicer to watch, even though a lot of this episode is me just looking through the objects. Oh, and yeah, that's where it crashed. Yeah, I went to click something from the African safari, brought back. So now here I am redoing what I just did, which I know we all want to watch. It does change the color because I don't think I used the same thing that I was using before. Looking at it, I think, yeah, I was using the mud base, I think it's called. I believe you can recolor the mud one. Finding out that I can recolor objects this late into the game, I think a few months ago, I'm like, oh yeah, you can recolor stuff, and it just, building game went up. I am now so much better, and I'm not only a decent enclosure building, I believe I can make some decent buildings, even if a lot of the shop buildings I use are the, what's the word? Preset ones. That's what I'm looking for. So now, trying to match the color a little bit better. It's really annoying that they aren't the same, but I get that's because the texture, I can like copy and paste the color, and it's like so much darker on that one. So I was just trying to make it look as close as possible. There's probably a way that better creators do it to make it look like match better. Again, it looks dark, but nah. I was kind of annoyed that that little bit of the enclosure was the bottom, what's the word, concrete, stuck out a little bit. That definitely annoyed me a little. So now we're on to like the top poles, because I don't like how the glass is just standing. I want to make it like contained, especially because I do have that bit on the bottom. So I decided to use yellow, you know, because it's the other color on the pillars. So I tried to keep with that blue, white, and yellow theme. I believe it, I think that turned out really nice. Again, more saving because this is. Here I encounter my next issue. Like, first there was the big crash, which set me back a little bit. When you download the mods, you need to make sure you have, I think it's called like ASCII or something along those lines. You need to make sure you have that. Make sure you actually download it and not forget to. because then you'll be like me, panicking, being like, I'm buying these animals, why aren't they showing up? When it was a really simple solution, was downloading ASCII to make sure these animals appear. I don't know how it works. I'm very disappointed. The Vortex mod manager didn't tell me a dependency was missing, but you know, figured it out in the end. We got the animal. Now on to building the shelter where they live. I didn't really have a flat place to put it, so I kind of shoved it back against this wall. I need to probably plan my habitats a little bit more. That's alright. That's alright. So starting off, I used I believe it's the conservation flooring. I like its wooden feel. Plus, it's going to be covered in hay. Because, you know, you go into a stable. That's what I was thinking. Like, you go into a stable, it's covered in hay on the ground. I think it's to help, like, soak up pee? I don't know why. I've never actually thought about why stables and stuff have bedding. Because I was thinking, oh, maybe make it softer, but I believe impalas, gazelles are like horses. They don't lie down to sleep, and if they're lying down to sleep, usually it means they're sick. And that's not good. This I'm also really proud of. I think it turned out really nice, even if I think it's a little plain. Although, looking back at it later when I was editing, I think it turned out much better. Here I am, thatch roofing, because, again, when you think of, like, Africa, you often think of, like, thatch roofing. It's probably not the best, actually, but, you know, it's brain association, that's what it is. And I guess it makes sense I think they're good at, like, not keeping heat in. I guess that's the reason why. There's full-on reason why thatch is a good roofing stuff. I know in, like, houses, I think some places, some people are building houses with thatch roofs, and I genuinely like how it looks, because, like, you get moss growing on top, and I really like that, like, natural look. Anyway, back to this. Here I'm putting the little, I could say wall. I didn't want to wall something off completely. I like the idea that they can, like, kind of see out, even if it's seeing right into a fence. It's not the best view, but I don't think they care too much. And then just adding a little bit more, like, detail. Something that I've tried to be better at is just adding nicer detail. Makes it look like the poles are actually stabilizing the building. I was trying to think, like, it was missing something. Like, it was nice, it was okay, it was kind of plain. I probably could have left it and just went on to decorating, but I'm like, nah, I want to make this look really good. So I was thinking maybe I can put these painted wooden things all the way up. It looked a bit too much. As you can see, I went, nah, I don't like it. I'll just have one on that side, one on the other. And it just adds that little something. I kind of wanted this, like, what's the word? Cloth drape just in front of the entrance, just to give it a little bit more privacy. I was trying to look to see if something would be, like, small enough to match what I want, but there isn't. One of the small bugs in this game, after playing a bit of Prehistoric Kingdom, great game, is that you cannot resize objects. Because if I could, that really large banner I probably would have put there just to give it a little, I don't know, bit of privacy. Instead, we got those two curtains. I like to think that maybe while a guest is watching there, an impala who's inside just, like, pokes its head out behind the curtain. I think that is super cute. I tried using carpet. I didn't like the texture. It looked wrong. So I'm like, okay, I can't think of anything else. There's no, like, things I can put on the roof to add extra. I think it's good. It's done. I'll leave it. Now time to smooth the area so the impalas don't jump on top of the roof, because I do not believe a thatch roofing could support an impala. I think they're a bit too heavy. Maybe they could, I don't know. I'm not a roofing expert. Putting enrichment down, just wherever. I wanted the scratching post on top of the hill because trees on top of hills are appealing to me. Here I am, just placing it all around. Again, not having a lot of flat space I think did kind of hinder it, but I did really like it. Now, putting down a little bit of foliage and stuff before I put the animals in, because I'm unsure how much the animal welfare thing, sorry, you could hear me clipping, that's how I try and remember stuff, would tell me, oh, they want this much, oh, they want that much. I want to put rocks. I think it looks better. I'm trying to add more rocks into my builds because I think it helps that more natural look. And it does end up looking really nice. Like at the end, I prefer the area with all the rocks than that bit with little rocks. But I'm also unsure when it's like too many rocks or too little rocks. Because you can see I was just like adding and exploring. And I probably could have just put the rocks maybe around some of the edges, because the hills, they look a little bit, I could have put rocks around, but I was just unsure. I was like, yeah, that's enough. Let me get rid of the grass in the water, because I don't think it'd be too mossy, because if you saw the Remember Bill series, in the capybara episode, I was talking about how I like to add grass, the small grass, to the bottom to give it like that mossy look. But I'm thinking, no, it's an oasis. I want it to be like clear. I want it to be clean. It's an oasis in the middle of the desert. It's a nice place. And there I was thinking, it's like, I was like staring at that building, being like, is there anything else I can add? And I think at that point, when you're like unsure, sometimes it's good to just step away. And having stepped away in a few days, looking at that again, I think it looks really nice. I'm proud of it. Now we're adding these boys in, and I'm like, oh, they're fine with full coverage. That, I know some of the modded animals have their like coverage things a little broken, so you put so much in it. It might be a thing, might not be a thing. Putting this dry grass, because I really like the grass. I think it looks so much better than the painted grass. Plus I can put like grass on sandy areas without like the grass taking over the sand, if that makes sense. If you play Planet Zoo, I think you'd understand what I mean. When you want long grass on the sand, because if sometimes when you go down to the beach in like that weird sandy grassy like crossover area, there's long grass there. There's not just small bits of green. It helps that. And I didn't want to cover it too much. Yes, it is an oasis, but this is still like a deserty area. There's not gonna be like super foliage. I put reeds down the back. I think that looked pretty cool. I usually put reeds around the side, but putting it around the rocks made it look nicer. I was just selecting random colors for this grass, and then I was like, as you'll see eventually, I'm trying to figure out something to put that grass in, and then I'm like, what if I put the green grass in with the dead grass? Oh, not yet. But yeah, I eventually did that. I try and put a little bit of the long elephant grass around, put it around the back, just to give them a bit more protection from the back. Even though there's nothing there, they feel protected, especially when I allow guests into the zoo at the end, so they won't like freak out and scream at me. But yeah, I like putting like the different colors, makes it look a lot natural than just having the one set color. So I go back with all the grasses and I do that. And honestly, the building game increased instantly. Like, look how much better that is. It's so nice. So yeah, big fan of how this turned out. Now, we'll explore it on a much closer view, less sped up. I really liked like the patches of grasses and stuff. There isn't too much, but there isn't too little. Walking up like the rock area, I did really like that. I'm probably could have expanded it, maybe. I'm a bit unsure. But yeah, now I want to give you a closer look to these models because they look amazing. Again, I'm not 100% sure who did it. I will link to the mod itself in the description, but I do believe it was Leaf. Like, these look like Frontier made them. Like, they look official. Like, sometimes you can get a modded animal and you go, oh yeah, that's modded. But these, I could have just made a video, I believe, and not told anyone it was modded, and anyone who was none the wiser would not have realized. These look phenomenal. Little scratching tree with the grass. I really like it being on top of the hill. They just like look out along the world and scratch their little back. I probably could have put a bit more rocks on that side, especially because it is such a harsh cliff. Again, the grass mixture looks so nice. And inside, I'm really proud of this. They can hide. And they go, oh, poke their head out a little side. I'm just really proud, okay? Yeah, that's the enclosure. And here we are giving you a view from the outside, so the guest perspective. I must have been building in without it being paused, because as you can tell in the little corners, it's broken. The grass is broken, the glass is broken. And with that, thank you all so much for watching. Leave a like if you liked it, subscribe if you'd like to see more of me. I do really hope I actually finish this building series, especially now I've done it a lot better. Anyway, thank you all so much. I'll see you later. Bye bye now.